Hour number 2 certainly rolling along here. Hot topics all the way through. We keep you invested by making sure that we have a good time. Joe Ranieri, it's myself. It's Friday. This is what we do here. Even though there's nothing going on the court right now in the NBA, there's a lot going on off the court, which again includes free agency is awesome. I can't wait for that to start up. Why? Sometimes you just take a look at it as a fan. I'm a Philadelphia 76ers fan. We partied once the Sixers actually lost in their playoff game. Like, why the heck would you do that? Because there's a player that I will not name whose contract is up that was making max contract money, who now we can spend elsewhere and maybe improve the Philadelphia 76ers. I'll let you guys find out who that player on the Sixers actually was. But let's take a look at the NBA championship odds, Joe Ranieri, because even before free agency, they are on the move. We really had a focus on the early line the past couple days on just the Eastern Conference because of how many moves the New York Knicks were actually making. And, of course, the reigning NBA champions, the Boston Celtics. But let's get that broad view here and bring in the Western Conference. The Celtics, still the favorite at a 3-1 price. The Nuggets at a plus 750. And look at the Knicks now, under 10-1, actually at a plus 850 price currently at the FanDuel Sportsbook to win the NBA championship, followed by the Thunder, T-Wolves, Mavericks, Bucks, Sixers, Clippers, and Heat. Let's just take that look right now. Do we agree that the Celtics still should be a heavy favorite to win next year in the NBA?
Well, I don't know about heavy favorite, but they should certainly be the favorite here, given the fact that, for the most part, the entire nucleus of that team will be back. I know Porzingis just had surgery. They're 5 to 6 months. He'll be back. Shocker. We're talking about Porzingis being on the shelf for a while. But they will, and I think the cat's out of the bag, though, right? The style and how they put all these monster guys with on here being able to shoot threes from all over the place with Tatum and Brown. Oh, well, that's all. This is a copycat league. So you and I both know what's going to happen here is that there are going to be a ton of other teams, and the Knicks are already doing it. The Knicks just spent a whole lot of money and put a team together that they think can be the antithesis to that and cause all sorts of problem for Boston. So congratulations. Now you're the hunted instead of being the hunter. Let me know how that works out here. They did something rare too, Donnie, this year. Don't forget. They were the preseason favorites who actually won the title this year, and there's only been a dozen or so of those in the history of the game. So the chances of them doing that back-to-back, not great as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, valid point you bring up, because also, even though you win championships, you know what you're doing? You're playing months longer and many more games than anybody else just to get to that point. It was interesting to see, like, hey, Porzingis is going under the knife. It's got the whole offseason. Yeah, he's going to be down 6 months. I'm like, my goodness, man. We're talking about a surgery and hopefully he comes back and being healthy. That's a long way. But if we do take a look, and also those high risers right now, because we're reacting to when the season ends and what you did to the roster. And what I mean by that is the New York Knicks have improved their roster and spent a lot of money, as they now sit again under a 10-1 price to win the NBA championship at a plus 850 price. If we take them out of the Eastern Conference and just include them with the Western Conference, are we buying into the hype for the Knicks, Joe Ranieri? Because I can't fault them for doing what they're doing. They're a better basketball team, but they actually did enough to be warranted the third overall odds favorite here at the FanDuel Sportsbook.
Well, I mean, listen, they were close last year and played with, basically three guys in the playoffs there, and there was no doubt that the Knicks were a different team with Anunoby on the court versus him off the court, right? The nucleus is there. Now you've locked him up if he can stay healthy, and this is a big if, because Anunoby has got much like Porzingis when he's on the court, he's a difference maker. But if he's not available to the Knicks, they just spent $200 million on a guy that's going to be on the bench and hurt, and that's the biggest concern. But outside of that, you got to love the draft for them. They built this roster to beat Boston. It's exactly what they did. Much like Minnesota put a roster together to beat Denver. They did. The problem is that roster wasn't good enough to beat Dallas.
Yeah, no, we'll see how that certainly plays out. But again, I can't fault what the Knicks are doing with that front office. They're spending money. They're getting their fan base excited. They had a nice run last year. If they can stay healthy next year, we'll see what they can do. And also to Joe's point, which is maybe the best point overall, man, it's hard to go back-to-back when you have that target on your chest, because you're right. They had day number one, they were the best. Right up to Thanksgiving, they were the best. Through New Year's, they were the best. They were the best the entire season long and proved it in the playoffs with a whitewashing of basically everybody that they played. Let me ask you a question about one of these teams that's popping up here just outside of 10-1. That's the Milwaukee Bucks at 11-1. You saw last year going through coaching changes, and now Doc Rivers, I guess, is the answer because he signed a long-term contract and a very lucrative one here to be the head coach of the Milwaukee Bucks. Are we sleeping on them a little bit because they were injured last year? Dame came over. He wasn't obviously happy, but now at least 1 year acclimated in Milwaukee. Should they be 11-1 price or be higher? And also, are they on your radar for next season?
No, they're not. And the reason they're not is, tell me, if they could do it all over again, would they somehow figure out a way to keep Holiday? And you know why? Because he was the glue. He was the guy that was the defensive stalwart of that team. You know what you're going to get from Dame, and it ain't defense. And if you can't play defense, then you get beat by the Indiana Pacers. And I don't see how that changes here, Donnie, at all. Not to mention, everyone's getting older and everyone's a little more injury prone now. So they are, I think, priced where they should be. There will be some people who think there's value there. I mean, there's no doubt they're going to be good, but are they good enough to beat those top three teams at that board? I don't think so.
And also the part about this, too, is last year, like Dame for 6 to 7 months, Joe, was like, I'm going to Miami. I'll force my way there. It's the way the NBA works. Eventually, both teams will come to an agreement, and we were expecting that. And I was on the radio live on Moneyline last year when it all went down. It blew me away because nobody was talking about him going to the Milwaukee Bucks and shows up there.
Nope.
And Dame Lillard, over the parts of the season, basically was telling us, yeah, I go to practice, I play games, I play video games at home, and then I'm bored as all get out. I should have been in Miami out at the clubs, enjoying the good scenery and all that other stuff. So that certainly played a big deal into this also. But if we are looking at other teams, and quickly, only a couple seconds left, the Dallas Mavericks at a 10-1 price. Do we expect them to take another step next year, or was this the best of the Mavericks this year?
No, I think they're going to make some adjustments. I think they learned a lot. You got to lose before you can win in the NBA. Just ask Boston. I think Dallas will do what they need to do as long as they have those two guys on the roster.
And how about this? You know, we saw the Knicks improve it, but when free agent kicks in, the Philadelphia 76ers odds will change from 15-1. They could go higher or they could be bought down lower if they put together a couple good players in the city.